Nightmare on Hale Mountain. So round 3, Southeast Extreme Riders Race, Nightmare Extreme. You're watching the bronze class, 16 to 34 years old.
Go Hollywood!
So this race is very unique in the fact that it started during the day but went into the night. And to see the setup, I'm going to put a link up here. You can watch the beginning of my brother's video. I showed you the setup on the helmets. Obviously the bike has a light as well. Off to a really good start until I start fumbling up down towards the bottom of this river. Now that's the first pileup of many more to come, let me assure you. Hello. I have no clue what I'm doing here, and I'm struggling to try to get back on the course. I have no idea what I'm doing. So 2 updates that I did to the bike from the previous race. Well, I didn't do them. My brother and my father did, thanks to them. We got SEER, the Mako 360 SX, and the Spurs foot pegs. And my God, do I love those foot pegs. The handlebars, I could feel a difference in my arms and upper body, but I felt a huge difference in my lower body with those foot pegs. Oh man, I love them. I really enjoyed this race. I've ridden at night before, not on a bike, but you know, 4-wheelers, 3-wheelers, Razors, Rhinos, you name it, I've been on it except bikes. It's been a really long time since I've been on a bike in the woods at night, so, and I've never done it competing. It's really fun, completely new experience. One of the things I love most about the beginning of these races is that there's just bikes and people all over the place. So you can't just stay to the track. You kind of got to get creative and pick where you want to get around people and look out for wipeouts, and you know, it just gets interesting at the beginning. I do have to say that I did not expect the track to be as slippery in certain points, because walking around it felt like there was going to be good traction, but as soon as these rocks got a little bit moist, it was like an ice rink. Times where I got creative trying to get around people, and when I do this sometimes I don't know if I'm getting myself in over my head, if it's 10 times harder and I should just be patient. It's a risk. this case, it worked out for me. I was trying not to stay behind anyone in case anyone wrecked in front of me, so that I wouldn't get held up or wreck into them also. So I don't know what line choices or what thoughts were going through my head when I was going up this side, but it actually worked out the best. This is probably the best. I went up it like 3 or 4 times, and this was probably the fastest, the best I've ever went up it. Getting really, really close to some of these guys. Thing that made it easier for this race, when the faster guys would come up behind you, you'd see their light. So I liked that because I could get out of the way at an easier time and let them go by, and you know, it was just much easier to tell when somebody faster was coming up on you to get out of the way. Now all the blue fender, it's all tape. And the reason, or the thought behind it, was that if there were any reflections or glare coming off the fender from all the lights, then it wouldn't be as annoying. You know, the tape would dull down some of that reflectiveness. I haven't ridden in the woods, like I said, so I don't know if it helped or not, but I'm going to chalk it up as a win because it wasn't annoying. I spent a lot of time on the ground this race. I didn't really know where to go.
Arm pump, baby. Those Bud Lights did not help in training.
So really there was no training from last race to this race. I mean, I ran here and there, did some sit-ups and push-ups, if you want to call that training, but I had more Bud Lights and I could feel it, that's for sure. On the second or third lap coming through this section, I tried to stay up high on the bank, and it was, I caught like a pocket in the front tire, slipped into it, and I drilled a tree, and I thought I completely messed my back up. It felt terrible. I do have to say, riding the track during the day helped a lot when it came to nighttime, because you knew what to expect, where certain things were, what lines you took before. In the dark, it would have been completely different from square one if I wouldn't be able to see everything. So that was I really liked starting out in the day and having it turn into night. One of my creative lines. Not the best. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. For example, there's a spot coming up where it ends up working out in my favor for once. This line, I took a gamble, and it ends up paying off. This is Cody Bollinger. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I believe I remember I think he's got the blue bike. Right up here, he ends up getting kind of blocked by the 4-stroke at the beginning. I think I'm not sure who it is, but yeah, he gets blocked there, and I'm able to squeeze by, and then I struggle here. That time wasn't so bad, but you'll see in the next go around, a couple laps, that I just couldn't get through there very easy. I don't know if I mentioned it at the very beginning or not, but this was at the Hale Mountain OHV Park in New Market, Alabama. And they had a lot of cool terrain. I saw some of the gold and silver course from going over my brother's footage. If you want to check that out, again, I'll put the link up here. The one thing I mentioned earlier was that I had the SEER spur foot pegs on the bike, and the one thing that worried me was they look really big, like they might not get through tight spaces. I didn't really have any issues with that at all. I mean, you could hear them hitting off rocks and stuff, but that would have been normal on the other foot pegs also. I didn't really get any good footage of when it got really dark out, like pitch black with the lights all working and everything. What I will say is the two lights that I ran on my helmet, one of them was a Tusk and the other one was a Task. The Tusk I had mounted on, like, you know, my visor, and the Task I had on the side of my head, on the right side of my head. And the Tusk was like running a very narrow flashlight, whereas the Task was just a huge giant spotlight. So I loved the Task helmet light, over the Tusk. Any day of the week I'd pick Task. The only issue that I did have with my Task was after I piled up, I think I disconnected the battery, or something happened where the battery and the light weren't talking to one another. And I wrecked pretty hard, so it made sense. I did stop at a checkpoint, and I had two batteries, so I could switch out, plug it in, and switch off the batteries in case one died.
Right hand is killing me.
So I had one of the course officials switch from the battery that I had originally plugged in to the new battery, and man, what a difference that was. It was night and day. The headlight on the bike, it was helpful, but it you know, didn't do the Task on the helmet was definitely by far the best light that I had on all night. I have no idea what place I'm in right now. I have no clue, you know, no idea whatsoever. So I'm just trying to get ahead of as many people as I can.
you.
I was completely shocked at how slippery that was.
Holy
I had no clue that it was going to be that slippery there. No idea.
What 311?
Come in.
311
I completely underestimated the amount of traction that I should have had here, as it was. I couldn't get traction. That ended up being my line going up through there every time. Once I understood how slippery the rocks were, I tried to tiptoe right around on the edges, unless I absolutely had to go right up through the middle. I'm going up through this section pretty good until here. I almost went over the bars. Luckily I didn't, because that would have hurt on all those rocks. hill threw me for a loop the first time. I don't know, I'm zigzagging back and forth, just, you know, trying to find my way to the top. And eventually I do, but the next lap, I don't make it look so hard.
I can't hold on. Arm pump! Arm pump! Alright, I went down.
So that was my mom and dad cheering me on.
Oh boy.
Now, I stopped here because something smelled really funny, and I thought that was oil splattered onto the rock. And, you know, it wasn't. And then my starter messes up. I thought for sure I definitely messed something up. Thank goodness I didn't. Went to a split, but right there is where they would join back together. And now this downhill, for some reason I did not like this downhill. I didn't wreck on it or anything like that, but I don't know, I didn't like it. and I almost missed a turn there. And I end up putting it down one more time. Yeah, that one got me good, but I didn't let it get me any more after that. Later in the race, it was at dark, and I think the guy was either a silver or a gold rider. I took my time going over that, and he did the exact same thing that I just did right next to me, and it would have been a great shot on camera. Unfortunately, the battery was dead, but I knew exactly how he felt.
Wrong line. Mother. Oh my God.
Now, for the life of me, I could not get that section dialed in. Throughout the whole race, it was a struggle for me.
son of a gun.
Again, these rocks are just so slippery. I can't even explain it. Now, in my opinion, the best line was to stick to the left and kind of cross over. This line I picked for 2 laps in a row didn't work out well for the bike. The second time I almost ripped the fender off the back. My right bark buster, I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's really, really high. When I stand up, it digs into my wrist sometimes. And it's just, sometimes, I mean, you can't ride without them. But sometimes when you wreck, I guess not wrecking would be the key to not having them move. But I have yet to master that.
Oh boy.
Oh boy is my go-to term when stuff's about to hit the fan, and I don't know why. As I stated on the first lap, that was...
Why did I do that?
I don't know what I was thinking. What was I thinking? I don't know. I can't tell you. One thing that happened in this section after the camera died was an armadillo ran out and I accidentally ran it over, but I didn't know that there were armadillo in Newmarket, Alabama, so it kind of freaked me out at first until I realized that that's what it had to be. but I did not get any footage of it because, like I said, it was pitch black out and the battery was dead.
Taylor! What's up?
So I officially made one complete lap.
Hey, I need to bang this bar thing down. Get that rock right there.
Oh.
Rock. Got it?
That's. I have no clue what that little rock was, what I was thinking at the time, but that was funny. Oh goodness. So coming up, this is where one of the hardest pileups I've taken in a while is. Yeah, all I can say is it hurt for like 3 weeks after that.
Oh, yeah. I think I got the wind knocked out of me. Oh my God. Thanks, man.
You want me to go get somebody?
No, I'll be all right, I think.
All right, I'm gonna go on if you're okay.
Thanks for the help.
Yeah, be careful.
So after a few minutes of breathing heavy and grunting and groaning,
Oh my God.
hop back on the saddle. time I took the path more traveled, and it worked out better for me.
You good?
Fitting through these tight spaces is not my forte. I also bashed the pipe off the rock right here. Not cool. Not cool at all.
You good? Ah. Dude, I can't get any traction on this stuff.
You can see it's starting to get a little darker in the canopy. Now the headlights that are on the bikes, they're just the stock, the stock headlights that come on the Husqvarnas. We usually take them off so we don't break them in a regular race, but, obviously, night race, you need a headlight. So I ended up sticking with that line, and yeah, I took that every single lap.
It's so slippery.
Alright, so maybe I never made it up this hill too clean. I may have lied when I said that the first lap.
How you doing? What's up? Okay.
Now, this is where I turn my tusk light on, and as you can see, it's brighter, but it's very, very narrow, and it's kind of my fault. I had it pointed downward.
Oh, damn it.
But again, if this would have been a task light, it would have been a huge orb instead of just a single narrow, narrow beam of light. Unfortunately, I didn't get any footage with the task turned on once I swapped the batteries, but I'm telling you, it made a world of difference. If you're in the market for a headlight and you have a tusk or a task, that's your option. Go with the task. The tusk light we borrowed from a buddy, and he never used it. It was brand new in the box. We went to mount it, and the mounting piece broke right off, and it was, it was just a piece of of brass inside of a molded inside of plastic. The task one's built to last. The tusk one's built to give you troubles. That's about as plain as I can put it.
Got slicked up in here.
I was gonna say that's a really.
Hey, is my light unplugged? It's not working for some reason. Okay, perfect.
So that was Mark. That was actually the task CEO or president that was at the track, and I didn't have the patience at that time to stop and let him, you know, swap the batteries, because obviously it wasn't that dark out yet, so I didn't really need it. But once the sun set and it got dark, I wished I would have let him fix it sooner.
Oh no! Woo! Sorry.
Yeah, almost got a new fender there. It almost ripped right out. Thankfully, it held up for the race.
Oh! There's a tree there. Oops, sorry, bud. Hello. How you doing, Gary?
Awesome. Mark Myers.
Yes, sir. See you next lap.
Good. You're in first place.
I am?
Yeah.
I gotta keep it up.
So I had no idea what place I was in until that point.
I'm in first, baby.
And yeah, I happened to run into my brother when the courses joined back together. So right in front of him for a little bit, trying to push it. kind of gives you a good example on the headlight on the bike versus the headlight on your helmet. Headlight on the bike is all over the place, and the headlight on the helmet, you know, wherever you're looking, it's steady. Like I said, my problem with a Tusk light right now is that I had it pointed too far down, and the task light, I should have stopped and switched the battery out myself sooner. as we wind down to the end here, I ended up taking first in the 16 to 34-year-old bronze class. So if you watched it this far, thank you once again for tuning in. We will see you at the next race. If you like these videos, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. Let us know what you like, didn't like, what you want to know. And we'll hopefully see you at the next race. Catch you next time.